John Locke was one of the most influential philosophers of the Enlightenment and is often called the father of liberalism. His ideas on government, knowledge, and individual rights shaped modern democracy, especially the foundations of the U.S. Constitution and modern political thought. Who was John Locke? John Locke, 1632–1704, was an English philosopher known for his work in political philosophy, epistemology, theory of knowledge, and education. He lived during a time of political upheaval in England, witnessing the English Civil War, the execution of King Charles III, and the Glorious Revolution of 1688. These events heavily influenced his views on government and human rights. Key ideas of John Locke. Factu tabula rasa, the mind as a blank slate. Locke rejected the idea of innate knowledge, ideas we are born with, and argued that the human mind is a tabula rasa, a blank slate, at birth. According to him, all knowledge comes from experience, either through our senses, seeing, hearing, touching, etc., or through reflection, thinking, and reasoning. This directly challenged thinkers like Descartes, who believed in inborn ideas. This idea laid the foundation for empiricism, which later influenced scientists like Newton and psychologists like John Stuart Mill. 2. Natural rights, life, liberty, and property. One of Locke's most famous ideas was that all people are born with natural rights, life, liberty, and property, which cannot be taken away by any government. In his book, Two Treatises of Government, Locke argued that government exists to protect these rights. If a government fails or becomes tyrannical, the people have the right to overthrow it. This directly influenced the American and French revolutions, and Thomas Jefferson even borrowed Locke's ideas for the Declaration of Independence, fair social contract, consent of the governed. Locke believed that governments should be based on a social contract between the rulers and the people. People agree to be governed in exchange for protection of their rights. But if the government violates those rights, the people have the right to rebel. This idea was revolutionary at a time when kings ruled by divine right, the belief that God chose them to rule. 4. Separation of powers. Locke believed in limiting government power by separating it into different branches. While he didn't develop the full idea, that was Montesquieu. He influenced later democratic systems like the U.S. Constitution and the idea of checks and balances. 5. Religious tolerance. Locke was a strong advocate for religious freedom and tolerance. In a letter concerning toleration, he argued that governments should not force religious beliefs on people. People should be free to practice whatever religion they choose, except for atheism and Catholicism, in which he distrusted. This idea influenced later separation of church and state in the U.S. Voltaire